What's going on, football fans? Welcome back to another episode of Breaking the Birds. I'm going to go through Jalen Carter, go through his best play, the worst play, you'll see more of that, and just the entire game from the man. This was night and day from the last breakdown I did of him, and I am super happy with what I saw. Let's get right to the tape. This amazing play by Jalen Carter. 5 front for the Eagles here. Single man block here is the indication for the offensive line, okay? Running back in the backfield. Jalen Carter obliterates the center, completely obliterates the center. And this is a fire zone blitz all the way through, okay? So they want to create this havoc in the middle, and then they want to have Carson Wentz thinking that he has more space to work with outside, or excuse me, in the pass game when you're sending that extra blitz. They're going the fire zone here, okay? So Zach Bond coming up there in the A gap. They want to free up either Jalen Carter or Zach Bond in a one-on-one block here, so that one of these two guys has to make a decision. Then they drop Jahad Campbell. They drop Jalix Hunt, and then interception, pick 6. This is all Jalen Carter. I mean, this only goes down as QB hit in a stat sheet. But the interception, the return, the touchdown, everything, put it on Jalen Carter. Okay, so that was the best play of the day for Jalen Carter. Now, the second play I want to show is a play that's been circulating around Twitter, X or whatever, just saying, oh my God, sheesh, Jalen Carter got pancaked. Okay, the play here is this. It's an outside zone for the Vikings. Jalen Carter gets pancaked. That is correct. What happens on the play? Let's just go through it here to see actually what's going on. So he's lined up in a 1 technique here, right across from a 3 technique. So right outside of the guard, okay? Now, when this play is going on here, he doesn't have no stunts calls. He's not being helped there. This guy is trying to reach block on Jalen Carter, while this guy is down blocking Jalen Carter. The idea is that this guy comes up, and then afterward, he's going to release outside after, okay? So that guy is supposed to reach and go. This guy is just supposed to plow down Jalen Carter if he can. Jalen Carter doesn't see this initially, and he's trying to get all of his momentum outside because he needs to get to this gap right here outside of the guard. So his responsibility here, I need to get my ass over here. So he's getting all of his weight towards the outside, and as he's doing that, he's getting pushed from the inside. So all of his momentum is taking him one side, and the guy who is down blocking him is also taking him to the outside. This is what you're susceptible to when you're being constantly double teamed. I can't blame Jalen Carter for this. They're using 2 guys on him on this play, on a play where he's not really the scheme doesn't help him here in terms of there's no stunts. Now that's not on the DZ or anything. It's just by chance. What needs to happen is Zach Bond needs to play this a lot more aggressive so he can get outside instead of Jalen Carter. There's no reason for Zach Bond to pause right there when Jalen Carter gets double teamed. Here's a pretty impressive rep right here. Lined up in a 3 technique outside the guard here once again. They're going to be running another split zone like we've seen. And he gets pushed outside here to the edge here. Notices that this guy's disappearing in front of his face and they're running an inside zone. He's spinning away from his gap. Because when that guy is moving ahead of him, when he crosses face, this guy right here, I believe it is, should see, yeah, when the center there crosses his face, that gap disappears, okay? So his new gap, or relative, would be this one. It's like when a power, when someone is pulling. And so he spins away from this because there's an overflow of defenders to that side and makes the tackle. It's not pretty, but that's super athletic. And I can only imagine that is why he's spinning at that point, because otherwise he's strong, slanting like Jordan Davis into his gap right here. But I think he notices right here that this guy is disappearing away from it and that they're running the split zone because he's looking at that and then coming back. If that's what he's thinking, like I think he's thinking, that's really impressive. Remember that you can support me on Buy Me a Coffee, Breaking the Birds. I'll put a link in the description there. Everything I do here obviously is free for everybody. Spend a lot of time doing it, so if you like it, consider going in there and dropping a coffee before. It literally goes to coffee, so always much appreciated. Okay, so this play is a bad snap, okay? So not too much to take away from that. But look at Jalen Carter here. He reads that it's pass immediately. How many defensive tackles do you see pull off a goddamn spin move towards the inside of an offensive line? You don't. You rarely see that. A lot of spin moves outside. You have a lot of space to work with. How often do you see a defensive tackle athletic enough to pull off a spin move without making it look completely silly or stupid? Look at how much disruption he's causing right here in the middle. The first guy who's trying to block him, he's trying to double team him, and he's spinning out of that. Clears from 64. He's turned towards the line of scrimmage, bad position, and he's just working upfield here. Even the running back has to come in and block him as well. Impressive. 2nd down and 6 is the situation right here. Jalen Carter lined up in a 5 technique right outside the tackle, and super impressive. Once again, here zone. The guard is coming out here to zone block him, and he's the guy that's dictating where things are going. Okay. They want to move. They want to push everything down here. The offensive line is. They want to get as much push as possible. And Jalen Carter is practically in the backfield while making his swim move across from him here, shutting down not only his own gap, but everything here to the outside. There's no way to bounce this play. And Jordan Davis makes the tackle. Quick game for the Vikings. Just want to highlight this play here from Jalen Carter. The pass rush move he pulls off right here against a poor tight end. Like, you don't really see tight ends on Jalen Carter. Why? Because this happens. The swim move, that little outside shuffle step there, quick feet. It is not. There's no chance. Like, usually you see tight ends get bullied by defensive tackles, like getting pushed back and stuff like that. Here he's just beating him with pure athleticism. Again here, Jalen Carter is taking on a double team right there in the 2-eye technique, so right inside of the guard. Double team right there, does not get moved off the line of scrimmage. They don't get the reach block on him. He just drives everything to the outside, holds that line completely still at the same spot of the engage, and then breaks away, splits the block at the end here and assists on the tackle. Great play. Just want to show this play. I think it's a good example of the combination of athleticism and power that Jalen Carter plays with. 3 technique right here, pass game. He's initially just getting blocked by the guard here. First, a quick inside step, punching away the inside hand of the guard. When he's compensating inside here and taking a step inside, leaning his body there, he's already outside here. So the guard is completely in limbo of what to do. And before the play is even 1 second in, he's turned laterally to the line of scrimmage. A terrible position for an offensive lineman. And Jordan Mason, the poor guy, runs into Jalen Carter, who is in his motion, and just get completely pancaked. Like, it looks so funny. To me, Jalen Carter has no idea he's coming. I don't know if he's releasing in a route or he looked like he's actually trying to block him. All right, so the athleticism, the quickness first. Right off the snap, pop. Beat the guard, run over the running back, quick pass. Again, just want to highlight the effort from Jalen Carter. On this play here, lined up in 2-eye technique inside the guard. And there's a 3-man rush. He's being triple teamed here. All 3 guys in the middle are working on him. And yet he's still driving them back a good, what? Let's see here. Snapping the ball to the full mark line. So he's back about 4 or 5 yards here into the pocket. He's practically collapsing or in the process of collapsing the pocket and continuously working and getting his hand up and trying to bat the ball down in a 3-man pressure when he's getting triple teamed. That's effort. That's what I'm talking about. Nice hurry on the pass here from Jalen Carter. Line up 4 technique right across from the tackle. Just a straight up bull rush against the left guard. Awesome leverage, awesome power. Almost gets the ball batted away. Carson has to get rid of the ball there, or otherwise he has to get out of the pocket. So completely collapsing everything here within 1.5 seconds of the snap. Good play. Yes, again here in the run game. Heavy personnel here, not heavy personnel, 21, okay, or 12 personnel, 2 tight ends, or practical lineup as tight end. and then a running back. Lined up here, 2 technique. And what we got here? We got the split zone once again. Double team to begin with. And then this tackle otherwise has to, is it a tackle? Let's just see, he's getting double team first from, yes, guard and tackle. And then the tackle here is releasing up afterwards. So initial double team, stands his ground here, doesn't get moved. He's in complete control of the guard. Uses his momentum, disengage, tackle. Awesome. Again, just highlighting this play because of the lack of effort or playing injured or fatigue. That was the discussion in the last game I did on him. And then now he's had some time off. Jalen Carter right here. 3 technique, zone run. Like the effort. I mean, the fact that he's flowing with the entire line as it's going here. Good contact. Doesn't get moved by the single block here. At that white line basically throughout the entire play. Respects his gap. Comes in so he's able to assist on the tackle if the running back was to break free. Another rep here. 3 technique. Run game. So we have an inside run here. It's more of a dive this time here. Don't have the usual zone blocking rules. So they want to clear out what's going on here inside. Double team up on Jordan Davis. Single block up on Jalen Carter. Nakobe Dean does a good job of playing this aggressive. Just want to highlight the quickness of Jalen Carter here. His outside step, taking that quick step outside, working out the hand or working away the outside hand here of the guard. Dip inside. That was a dog yawning if you could hear that. And then Jordan Davis with the raw power in the middle. So you have Jordan Davis controlling the line of scrimmage. You have Jalen Carter, who is taking away everything outside right here. Nakobe Dean playing it nice and physical, so they can't double team up on Jordan Davis. Good play. Another rep here in the run game, just completely collapsing the pocket. 4 technique outside, straight up on the tackle. 1-on-1 against the guard. Gets punched in the face right there. Quickness, athleticism, and just really good technique. Outside step first, set up the guard, inside club, boom, club inside, rip, collapse the pocket. Just a chaos maker here. Disruption disruption on double team here from Jalen Carter, and this just frees up everyone else on the D line here. So this is an inside game here, an inside defensive tackle game. We don't see that too often from the Eagles. What Jalen Carter's job is here is just pulling this guy and this guy away, and then Jordan Davis comes outside afterwards. Okay, so look at the job he's doing here. He's completely bull rushing these 2 guys inside. Then Jordan Davis comes out and he almost just disrupts the entire inside of the pocket, just completely disrupts the pocket himself without having that loop necessary from Jalen Carter. From Jordan Davis. Here we have the Vikings running a split zone, running it to the left side here. You're going to see T.J. Hawkinson come into motion. He's going to be the split blocker here. So this is going to come back towards away from the zone blocking scheme here, and then come back as lead blocker. Jalen Carter lined up right here in a 3 technique outside the guard. He's responsible for the B gap to this side. Zach Bond of the A gap, Jihad of the B gap, and then you have Jordan Davis here in the A gap. So taking on the double team here first to begin with, withstands that pretty well, and then just crashes inside the line of scrimmage here. And why does he do this? It's because he loses his gap, so he's just going to squeeze everything inside. What that does is that he takes away his gap indirectly here, but making sure the running back can't run through it. This works because this can work when the rest of the offensive line doesn't really get any move on the play at all. See right here, within a few yards, you have 4 linemen all crash together, so that opens up a huge gap outside, which basically allows where if you have your backside spill defender to come in and make the tackle right there. Now Zach Bond does a really good job of shooting his gap right here. But when the tight end disappears right here, there's an extra gap right here, like that's C gap, and you have the D gap out here when the tight end is lined up like this. But when he disappears away from the play side, that opens up a gap over here, but minimizes it back here. And that basically frees up the guy who was supposed to cover there and relate to the tight end. When he then comes back afterwards, you need to have your safety come down here and play that C gap in between the tackle and the tight end, because the defensive end is going to get kicked out and play outside contained D gap. That's a long explanation for Jalen Carter does a good job on this play. Double team here on the right side here by the guard and the tackle. Carter lined up right there. First move is terrific. Swipe away the guard instantly and then comes up here afterwards on the tackle. Tries to spin move as the counter to get outside. I like the hustle, like the effort. We talked a lot about effort in the last video I made about Jalen Carter. Definitely on display on this rep right here. But again, another double team. Lined up in 3 technique right here. Doesn't win his rep immediately. Doesn't result in anything big. But what I like about this play is the continuation of making moves, okay? So first, that club tries to swipe. Now, this doesn't work because the club isn't forceful enough, so it doesn't get the guard out of balance. And then when he comes upfield, again, another swipe, and then rip at the end here. Doing whatever he can really to get just a little bit of separation from the guard. Good rep by the guard. But I like to see, especially after the last game I did of Jalen Carter, the continuation of, keep making moves and continuously playing with energy.